we're I got the chat right there. It's kind of cut off. Gonna have to work on that a little bit. All right, welcome. Too many people in here right now, but yep, it's the Bababorn Podcast. I'm probably not gonna put it like on an actual audio place because that probably won't even be a good idea. Because like it's mostly based on the game itself, and like it's something that I need to show gameplay and have it done like visually, because I mean it'd be nice to look at in the future, to look back on Battleborn, but you know, it's not gonna be, I don't know what I'm trying to say. But anyway, yep, I am Baba G. It's Bababorn Podcast. Character guides for now. Episode 4. Gonna go over Montana and Thorn, the best of buddies. I'm probably gonna take a break next week, figure out what I'm gonna do after, because these two are probably the last two characters that I'd want to even do a guide on. Like, the rest of the characters I can play, but I don't think I could really dedicate a whole episode by myself to them, you know? Like, I could probably do one for Wrath, but I mean, there really is not even much you can talk about Wrath, you know? He has his knock-up, he's a great character. But the characters I've already covered are the ones I'm really comfortable with. Alright. So, got me notes here. I'm gonna go over Thorn first. Okay. So Thorn's an interesting character. She's easily top 2 damages in the game. In certain aspects, she's above. Talking about top 2, we got Oscar, Mike, and Thorn. Most aspects actually, she's better than Oscar, Mike. Her playstyle is she's a sniper. Like technically, she's a sniper, but like she's not dueling at long ranges. Like she can't do what Marquis and Toby can do. Because like Marquis and Toby, they're great for applying constant damage to things. Like you could rely on Toby or Marquis to shred a tank, you know, shred anybody in lane, but Thorn's not like that. Thorn's much more like a marksman. She's more like a marksman where she's kind of jumping all over the place, you know, applying damage as she can, but she's not sitting in one spot like Marquis or Toby can. I'll go over her skills. Let's go to training. Go over gear and everything. I've been running pretty much the same loadout for the past like 2 years. I used to main Thorn actually.
Welcome to the dojo.
Alright.
Here you can practice your skills against waves of minions. Each adorable robot you smash scores you points. Each one that reaches the grinder scores against you.
Yeah, I'm gonna lower.
Unleash hell.
Come on, I was at max right now. Oh my god.
3, 2,
lower it.
Fight.
Alright. So, Thorn.
I can't be stopped. I won't be stopped.
Bridgerstein Cheese. I'm pretty sure she and Boulder are the only ones who are kind of related, even though they're not actually like blood related, which is cool. So, her skills, she's got Volley, Blight, and her ult. So Volley is Volley is like a very good representation of what Thorn is as a character. She's not a sniper. She's so ineffective at doing single target damage, unless it's like minions and stuff. She really needs to be able to jump around, do what she wants. Kind of like the way Thorn moves around the map is a lot like Melka. But with Volley, it's just 5 arrows that you just launch. It's like really good actually, because like in close range, you can later in the game, but you can potentially do more damage with Volley with crits than her ult itself. Like you can get up close and hit all the arrows. You know, Lakeland Gamer, he's told me that he's taken knockout before the right side for extra 2 arrows. So he'll take that, and then he'll take the Hex extension. I'll go over Helix's. So you get maximum damage with Volley, and Volley can do a lot. It's like if you can get up close, you can do ridiculous amounts of damage with it. Yeah. So Volley.
Come on, hold still.
Mostly you want to go. Obviously, like I said, you gotta get up close. It's not really effective at long range unless you want to apply bleed something from far away. Like if someone's running away, they're kind of low, you can probably apply the Volley and then you can throw the ult afterward. And Blight's just an area of effect, damage over time, mostly using for wave. Once you get to level 6, you can take the Swamp Foot, which apparently it used to be at level 2, which was crazy. It was 2 or 1, but Swamp Foot is it's like top 2 choices for Thorn. You can actually Blight's not really good for like using on players, but when you have Swamp Foot, you can if you can like anticipate where someone's gonna go, you can slow them, and a good slow. And if your team can push up, it's like the difference between you getting a couple kills for your team. You know, slows are really powerful. Yeah, Blight. Her skills are pretty simple, just do damage. Her ult, honestly, it might be the best ult in the game. It's just, you throw it, green ball, really powerful, explosive blast. Yeah, you can see how it scales. At level 1, they always tell you, like when you're in the menu, the command menu, it tells you at level 1 what the skills do, but I'm at 9, and it says it does 725 damage right there. And her passive, Nature's Curse. Anytime you apply, so you wanna, the way her passive works is that you apply a curse by either having a fully charged arrow, it like starts glowing green right there, you see that? And then you hit something and then it gets marked, and then all the targets that are applied with Nature's Curse will take 25% extra damage from the cursed arrows, which you usually forget that, but it's there. And then you get 25% extra damage from all your skills. That's like the bread and butter of Thorn, is that you apply the Volley, you apply the curse. I'll go over Helix's. You apply the curse, and then you throw the ult, and you get 25% extra damage with the ult. Late game, you can do around like 1200 damage to people. Like, if Thorn can get up close to like a support, it really only takes like 1 arrow, or any squishy really. It depends. A lot of damage characters, they run health, but for sports, you can literally just 1 arrow, Volley, and then throw the ult. That's usually a kill.
I told you to run.
She's got the aim. want to go a little bit longer, she's not really that good at like range dueling, but I mean, she's still a long range character, you know. Like if someone's like running across the map, one part that makes Thorn better than Oscar Mike is that she can hit them with the arrow. Yeah, if you have good aim, like Thorn's a character that if you you don't even have to be that incredibly good at aiming, but if you are, you're playing her at her maximum potential. Because like at level 5, all you really need Thorn to do is that, throw her ult. But if you can aim, it's literally playing her at her maximum potential. Okay. Got anything? I don't think so. I'm gonna go over helixes. Yeah, over helixes. I'm about to lose. All right. So then Thorn, honestly, she doesn't really have a whole lot of different choices, which is true for a lot of characters. When I go over Montana, he's like the best, probably the best in the game at having multiple choices. Okay, so Thorn or helixes, level 1. Usually want to go with Piercing Volley. Piercing Volley will let you get the volley through through waves and let you get through players, because a lot of her helixes synergize really well together. I'll get into that. Brutal Blight. I mean, I guess you can take it if you're going for a Blight build, but Volley's way more important on Thorn's kit than what Blight is. I used to think that people took the middle one, Wade is over, at level 2, but it's really Distant Blight. Distant Blight will gives her Blight a lot of utility. Like with later on, you get Swamp Foot, really good for slowing bigger targets, because like Montana, like the big body characters, they're not the best at like being really shifty unless it's like Kelvin. So if they're like running away, you can just throw the Blight down and slow them. Your team can help punish. It's really useful. I've never taken Cursed Earth. I don't know. Thorn's passive is not. It's really important to our character, but isn't warrant taking Cursed Earth and standing in your Blight. You don't want to be standing in her Blight. Like, doesn't really make any sense. So level 3. I really wish I could take Draw Strength, get the arrow piercing. Be really cool, because yeah, obviously that would increase your damage a lot, but Burst Propulsion, she really needs that, because like Thorn, she has like only like I think it's 1100 health at level 1, and if like she's a character that if she gets slowed, can get cooked like so easily, and she really needs Burst Propulsion lets her get around the map, and it's not bad. It's not bad for like if you're clearing wave and you just have like 1 or 2 minions left, you can just pop a melee and it does a decent amount of damage to help you finish, so you're not just constantly shooting out arrows. Level 4, usually people go with the left. I'll go over the other ones. Knockout. I usually never take it, but I've heard people take it with Hex Extension to get more. Basically gives you maximum amount of volley damage, that's nice, you know, if you're going for a volley build. I feel like if you're playing PvE, Splinter would probably be it, because like the volley by itself, it already bounces off of terrain, but it bounces off of enemies too, it's a cool concept, but honestly, it's a cool concept, but the curse is way too valuable. This lets you pretty much, you can like literally instantly pop a curse on someone like across the map with the volley. Like Thorn's Bleed, yeah, obviously curse is the way to go. Usually on the volley. because it allows you to apply her bleed. Like, Thorn's bleed is like really, really, really strong because she can apply it basically at any time. If you can just if you land the charged arrow and if you have the volley, really, really good for like obviously it's a team-based game. If someone's like running away and they're at like 80% health, no shields, then I'm talking about like a regular character like a Damage, Beatrix, Keldy, any of those guys. If they're like just running away at like 80% health, you can just throw the volley, the curse volley right away, and you throw the ult. That's a killer right there. The curse volley is the curse volley and Swamp Foot are probably her best tools. Absolutely. Because the curse lets you just apply the bleed at anywhere in the map, basically. Venus Curse, I feel like that's way too much because Thorn's not like from a long range. She has no burst at all. Like the amount of time it takes for Thorn to shoot like 3 arrows into a target from across the map, Marquis or Toby would be able to do like 2 or even 3 times as much because those guys are just so much better at long range. Every so often I do take Hex Extension on the left if like there's a Miko on the other team or if they have a lot of big bodies, or not big bodies, but just like beefier characters like Eldragon, Boulder, Montana, characters like that take way more work to kill. Hex Extension's good because it gives you way more, gives you extra 10%, which is 35% extra skill damage on her ult. Which I believe if you have that, you can do late game around like level 8, 9, 10. You could do probably like 1400 damage maybe with her ult, which is with squishy characters that's almost their entire health, like their entire health bar, which is crazy to think about. But usually people take the bleed because in most situations the bleed will give you the most value because it's raw extra damage. You can almost never go wrong getting extra damage on a character, especially one who's built around damage like Thorn. Yeah. What we got? Yeah, she's really not good for tank, for shredding single targets unless it's like, she's kind of like Isaac in the fact that they're not the best at like melting tanks. Like the best characters at shredding tanks are like Marquis, Toby, Whiskey, and Oscar Mike. You know, they have the burst to shred big bodies down, but Thorn and Isaac are better for killing like all the other characters like Squishies, Alani, Ambra, Benedict, characters like that. And like the best way I'd say to deal with Benedict, like in general, is just poking him. Like he thrives on being able to just do whatever he wants, like jumping around the map because he has so much mobility. But like if anyone at all just pokes him a little bit, like one Thorn arrow with the bleed will basically take out his shield and leave him bleeding. And at that point, most characters in the game will be able to finish him because that's like level 5, 6. Unless they're a support, like like a melee character, Atticus, Eldragon, Isaac. Anyone who can land a stun on him will be able to finish him, most likely. And the bleed really, really helps at dueling other damages. Okay, so 6 volley cooldown, not really necessary. Like Thorn skills, they have really generous cooldowns. I believe volley is like 12 or 11 seconds, and then Blight is 15 seconds. So just pretty generous. You don't really need the cooldown. Swamp Foot is one of her best tools. Usually want to go with that. Helps with wave and utility for slowing other targets. When I first started playing, I usually took the accuracy because it just felt nice. But you don't want that. Phasing arrows. I mean, it sounds cool. Shield penetration. I don't think is that good. I've heard it's good on Beatrix, but usually want to go with Vaulting Hunter. That's like her jump is like ridiculously good. Like Pendle's jump is like half of what Thorn's jump gets. Pendle's jump, yeah, and Wrath gets his double jump, but Thorn's jump is literally like twice as much height as like Pendle's will get. She can like the two little perches on monuments. She can almost completely climb those with one jump. And if we have the burst propulsion, you can just get up on those really easily. Just really, really useful. Honestly, when I do play Thorn on Meltdown, because Meltdown's so dive oriented, I don't really feel safe until I had level 7, because you can just be way more evasive with it. So at level 8, Fellwind, it's kind of like the situation with Cursed Earth. You don't need to be standing in her Blight. It's not what Blight is there for. You want to go with the duration. Just gives you more damage for clearing wave, stuff like that. Level 9. I mean, I've seen some people take Archer's Boon. I mean, it's I feel like it's more of a pick that's like, yeah, no, I'll take it. It doesn't really matter that much, but having 15% extra damage, there's a reason why Volley's damage is so late, because Volley can do a crazy amount of damage. I feel like it's underrated, but it's also not, because people know that if you get close with Thorn, you can do crazy damage. Okay. I was just thinking about showing a clip, but I don't know how I would do that. See if I can find it. If I can find it, I'll show it. Well, basically, it was a clip of I stuck up on an opposing Thorn in pubs, and I mean, it wasn't that it wasn't really. It's not honestly a good clip of showing like what Volley can do in terms of damage. Yeah, I want to show it. It was more of a. Ooh, it was more of a situation that I just stuck up on a Thorn and like point blank volleyed her, and she didn't expect it, which was kind of funny. I mean, I want to show it. Let's see if I can find it. Okay. Looking for. It's kind of a long time ago. Probably. Yeah, I'll just. Because I want to show it. Oh, okay. Long story short, Volley is really, really good. Can do, like. If you get crits, can do. I mean, I don't really know the exact numbers, but I know you can do around. Like, at level 1, you could probably do, like, 400, 500 damage with crits. And late game, that scales to, like, 700. So, like, 1,000 maybe? So level 10, like, the left and the middle kind of completely change the ult, which you really don't want. Wild Judgment is it's a funny, it's a meme pick. A lot of meme picks in the game, but you throw it, it's the ult turns into like a bounce, like a ball, like a bouncy ball, and it bounces all over the place. I'm pretty sure it has like horrible hit detection. Like you throw it down and it won't hit someone on the first hit, which you really need the ult to hit. And I think it just has bad hit detection. But it's a funny meme pick to see it bounce around. Trap training, I've never taken it. It's, like Thorn's ult, it's not something that you want to like throw as a trap. It's something that you want to be able to immediately throw out and punish someone with. The Earthrender is like the only one that doesn't hinder that. It's the only one that, it doesn't hinder that. And it also works really nice because you get the Swamp Foot. So like if you throw the ult down, you get a kill, maybe you don't get a kill. If you don't, then you're most likely did a lot of damage to someone, and they're slowed because they're in the blight. Like the blight is like immediate, and that'll allow you to punish. That just because like Thorn can punish really, really well on her own. The only problem with her is that it can be hard to push with her. Like she kind of sucks at getting like Thumper Turret on Overgrowth. Like even late game, if unless you have like 2 or 3 picks on the enemy team, it's still really hard for Thorn to get Thumper. Pushing, getting Thumper, all that stuff. Oscar Mike is definitely better, getting sentry damage. But in terms of everything else, in terms of staggering, getting player kills, and applying pressure, Thorn's is so much better. Way better. And it's kind of balanced because like Oscar Mike's like way easier to use and more effective in most cases, but if you can aim and understand the character, Thorn will give you more value in the long run. Because I mean, you shouldn't have to rely on one character to smash a sentry, which is the case a lot of the time with Oscar Mike with his space lasers. But Thorn is better in that regard, getting player kills, staggering. Okay, that's almost everything. That's pretty much everything. I just gotta go over gear. So gear, I see a lot of Thorn builds look exactly like the one I have. Just skill damage, attack damage. I really like this one because she still has a really low health pool. She has like 1100 at level 1, and these 2 pieces let you get a bit more health because you really only need 1 or 2 more pieces on her. And then I like running health regen because I like running health regen on pretty much all of my characters, but on Thorn it's just really nice because having 7 health regen can be tough because Thorn's a really, really easy character to dive. And having 7 health regen is not enough in most cases, so I just like having an extra health regen. Okay. Just gonna show off a couple more things on Thorn and training. Just 2 things actually. When you're using her ult, you almost literally every single time, if possible, you want to pop the curse volley right before you throw the ult, because that's getting the curse off and the extra damage from the volley is almost always the difference between getting a kill. Like, I mean, sometimes you can throw the ult down without the curse and you get like maybe 1 kill, because if someone says, oh, you throw the ult, you're probably gonna get a kill. But if you throw the curse down, that can be the difference between you not getting a kill and you getting 2 kills. Because like people will peel for their teammates. Supports will get to the teammates, get to the enemy, But getting the volley off is so important. That's like one of her most important parts, to get the curse off before you throw the ult.
To the dojo. Here you can practice your skills against waves of minions. Each adorable robot you smash scores you points. Each one that reaches the grinder scores against you.
Alright. So, yeah, like I said, you want to throw the volley and then throw the ult. It's really simple, but it's so important. Clearing wave, usually Marquis and Thorn are really similar when they clear wave. They throw their stuff down. When playing Thorn, you just want to do that. That's pretty much it. And then usually if it's a shipper wave, you go for the shipper's crits, you know. Swamp Foot. Pretty interesting thing is that Marquis' bubble at level 4, when you get the damage over time, he gets basically Thorn's level 6 Swamp Foot at level 5 or level 4. Because right here, you're doing damage and you're slowing them. That's basically what Marquis' bubble does. But pretty sure Blight. I think Blight does more damage. I don't know. Yeah, it does 50. I'm at level 6. It does 50 every half second. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Marquis. I'm pretty sure on top of my head it was 80. It's 81 per full second. So yeah, I missed the volley, but yeah, you want to throw it. Oh, I can show off her jump. Yeah, jump is crazy. Oh, I didn't even take the thing. Jump is really powerful. Lets her move pretty freely around the map. She's one of the. Like, once she gets her jump, she's so much harder to dive. Yep, throw the volley. Yeah, right there. That's what you want to do almost every time you use her ult, because her skills have very generous cooldown. That's 15 seconds on the volley. I mean on the blight, and then volley is 13. So yeah, that's Thorn. Spent way more time on that than I thought. That was like a full 30 minutes. Okay. Now we got Montana. What's the title called? Is it Man, Myth, Mountain? Yeah, Man, Myth, Mountain. Montana. Should I play the song? I kind of want to play the song just because it's Montana and he's the mascot character. So, yeah, I'm gonna play the song. I haven't listened to the song in a while. Yeah!
Oh, I like this. Now who's that riding in? It's me. His gun popping in the wind. Yeah, it is. That's into the air. It's Montana. Throw the bitches.
Oh, I don't have that.
Top is tiny legs. I mean, they're not that small. Yeah. Big ass gun. I mean, it's fine. Yeah. That's me. Uh-huh. Is where he's from. Favorite pastime is fighting scum. It's fun. Vibes to his buddy Oscar Mike. It's Mon. I like that guy. Yeah! Ow! Ow! Stop! Hey! Come! Oh no! Keep going! Keep going! Ooh.
And then the laugh. Oh, Montana's great, man. Like, you can't dislike this guy. You can't dislike this guy. He's the guy. He's the guy. He's the guy. So anyway, Montana. He is a tank. One of the most centralizing tanks in the game. His skills. I can go over the play style. I mean, the most effective way to play him is play him passively, because it's really easy to kill him. He has one of the biggest hitboxes in the game. You want to play passively until you hit level 5. But once you hit 5 and get his ult, you can be way more aggressive in dives. It's a lot harder to punish him late game because he has his ult. If his team follows up, if you CC him, he uses his ult, his team can push up and punish really easily. So play passively pretty much the whole time, unless you have like a really hard dive team, hard dive comp, then you can go in. So it's passive, heat wave. The hotter his heat is on his gun, he does more damage. Montana's he's like the single. I mean, in terms of doing everything in the game, he's probably the character. He can do a lot of damage. He has a lot of CC. He has a lot of health, tankiness, sustain, all that stuff. Oscar Mike. One parallel that I like to think about. I've been thinking about recently is Monty and Mike, and then Thorn and Kelvin. They're both like S tier in terms of like damage, they're like the best in terms of damage, tankiness. And Montana and Mike, they're both like the all-purpose of their character type. Like Mike's the all-purpose damage, pushing out, doing all that stuff. Montana's like the all-purpose tank. He can push, land CC, do a lot of damage, slow, knock up, do all that stuff. And the thing is, I feel like Mike and Montana are like, they're like the easier characters to get into. They're usually way more effective. They're more effective and more reliable, you know. But Kelvin and Thorn, I'd say they have a way higher skill floor. They have way more potential to make plays. Because like Oscar Mike, like you're gonna be more scared of a good Thorn than a good Oscar Mike. Because good Oscar Mike, I mean, if you're a tank, obviously he's gonna shoot you. That's gonna suck. But other than that, he'll shoot your sentry, you know. But it's Thorn. Thorn is the one he's gonna be scared of. She'll slow you. Like usually, Thorns don't use their ults on tanks, but it can happen. Like Thorn's way more scarier on a skilled player than Mike is on a skilled player. Same goes for Kelvin, because like Kelvin's cracked, man. He's so good, because it's like if you can really learn Kelvin, like it's literally like he has the entire game all wrapped around his finger, because he's a character that can take all the CC, all the damage, and if you have, like, you don't even need wind chill at level 6. If you don't die and you get your sublimate off, you can literally take all that damage, stun most of the team, and still escape. Which is like, sublimate is such a crazy skill, because it's like sublimate is almost like Deanne's ult. Like Kelvin's sublimate could honestly work as an ult on its own, which is basically what Deanne's ult is. Yeah, so basically Kelvin and Thorn are like the higher skill floor. They have way more potential to make plays, but Mike and Monty are easier to get into, and they're in most cases they'll be more effective, but Kelvin and Thorn have more potential. Yeah, so Monty, play passive, he's a tank. Lumberjack dash. Honestly, does a decent amount of damage. Never really looked at that. 200 damage is pretty decent. I don't know if it does extra damage if you hit them into the wall, but that's like the main way you use the dash. Kind of like Boulder's dash, you knock someone into a wall, or I mean, sometimes the terrain can be weird in this game, but if you knock them like into any ledge at all, like if it's like a little divot in the ground, and they get knocked into there, they'll get stunned. It says 1 second, but it's really 2. That's the best way to use it. Hailstorm. It's like so many of Montana's skills they work so well together. Like he's such a good, well-designed character. You can really tell that they put a lot of heart into him. So yeah, as you get more heat, you do more damage, but if it overheats, you can't shoot anymore. So it has the cooldown. But then you have Hailstorm to help you cool off the gun and let you just keep shooting. And it also will slow targets that you hit. One of the best slows in the game. It's literally like an instant slow from across the map. Also gives him 30% DR, which is really useful. If you're in a bad situation and you don't get interrupted, you can just pop this Hailstorm. It's basically like a shield almost. It just reduce the damage. And then Mansformation. It's pretty funny because you literally never hear anybody say Mansformation, but That's the name of his ult. They don't actually say how much DR it gives. I've been always been intrigued to know how much DR it gives, but yeah, Montana's ult, it's a knockup. It does have a small wind up, like he has to do the animation, and then it goes into the knockup. I mean, I can go into training now. To show off. I should play Montana a lot. I should play him more. He's not really a casual character though. Because he's so effective, but he's also like he's a character that has to be looking out for everyone on the team, including himself. 80% really, yeah. It's crazy. Most of the time when Montana ults, I just stop shooting at him. That's what most people do, I think.
You guys, watch this, watch this.
Okay. He has like almost all the CCs in the game, excluding like the special effects like weaken or silence. He has knock up, slow, stun, all that stuff.
Welcome to the dojo. Here you can practice your
they
skills
really
against
put a
waves
lot
of
of
minions. Each adorable robot you smash scores you
what's
points.
the word?
Each one that reaches the grinder scores
A lot of pizzazz into design in Montana. Okay, so yep, so lumberjack dash.
2, 1.
Yeah, it also has a wind up because Boulder's dash is instant, but he does have a little wind up right there, which can really suck because sometimes you'll get interrupted. Yep, lumberjack dash. Hailstorm. Slows enemies. Well, the heat bar on the bottom right is his heat. His left trigger. Not that many people use it, but I use it sometimes if I want to just cool off, but keep the gun spinning. You know, it has kind of uses, but it's not that great. Because I mean,
better hang it up, buddy. Freeze, jerks.
Has a lot of uses. So
every few waves, I'll give the minions an
show
upgrade. You'll have to stay on your toes if you want to keep up.
It's basically exactly like Boulder's dash. It knocks them back, and if they hit a wall, they'll get stunned for 2 seconds. That's the primary way to use it. His ult
Here comes fire.
does have that wind up. You can get stunned out of it. I actually, you could kind of see it right there. About like half a second before he starts getting like, if you see he's shiny, then that means he has his DR. But a lot of people have mastered like when to stun him. But sometimes you can stun him before he gets shiny or after, and you can still prevent him from getting his DR, which really sucks because once you see that Montana has no DR, he has almost nothing. Unless he can like get to cover or his team can peel for him. He doesn't really have a whole lot. A lot of his tools would work really, really well together. Hailstorm in particular. Got the flick, the legendary flick. I didn't go over quick melees, but you don't really need to. I mean, they made it really long because like if you have heat, if the heat's built up, then if you flick, then that gives you a decent amount of extra shooting by using the flick.
Returning to base.
All right, so Helix is level. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a long one. He has a lot of really good choices. So level 1 dash distance. I usually don't take dash distance because most people take Weatherman because Weatherman is just way more all around useful. But I'd say if you're taking the his knockup, then dash distance is really good because dash distance, especially on monuments. I feel like on monuments I take dash distance even with the stun because he can, like the two ledges on monuments, like the one that's right here and then the other side right there. You can like literally with dash distance you can dash all the way across, which is so funny and useful because he can pull off some really great escapes with his dash, like Boulder can. With dash distance, Weatherman. Monty is really good at shredding like single targets. When it comes to like minion waves like this, he struggles because he can only really be dealing with one thing at a time. You know.
Oh man, you all right?
And with crits, like I said, single target damage he can do really well in, but single target damage. What's that? Yo, I didn't even know that. Did you see that? What? Has anyone noticed that? I'm sure. There's a little text bubble when you flick someone. I've been playing this game. Is it only in training? I've been playing this game for 3 years. I've never noticed that. Wow.
Cut it out.
Anyway, what was I saying? Dash distance can be kind of hard to use with most people at level 2 take Lumberjack Blast. That's probably honestly his most important choice. His best choice is probably Feeling the Burn, but Lumberjack Blast is usually what people take because it allows him to have a much more reliable stun. You can stun like through walls and around corners. So like on monuments, the little ledge, if someone's standing right there, if your team is really, it is inconsistent. If your teams can follow up immediately, you can like stun them right there, and your team can follow up. It's a shockwave. You can hit people around corners, really effective. I mean, it's inconsistent. You mean the Lumberjack Blast or the flick? But yeah, the blast will let you blast multiple things. Because with the regular Lumberjack dash, you can only hit one target, I believe. But yeah, knock up. Very situational. Sometimes I'll take it like on monuments. If you have a lot of squishy characters who are hard to hit, then I'll go for the knockup. Get distance because if you're playing a bunch of backline characters like damages, like snipers, etc., they're not gonna push up enough for you to stun them most of the time. But with the knockup, you can like close the distance on them immediately. Yeah, it might be a training thing. That's hilarious. Like I feel like you wouldn't not notice that in clubs. Like people use the flick kind of sometimes, but like that's hilarious. I love that. Like I need to figure out more things about that and like more things like that in this game. I have not mastered it, but the trick where you do dash and then you flick downwards so you can stun people like out in the open. I'll go over that with the next. I'll try doing that with the next wave.
Done this before. Better give those minions more help.
All right. So you do the dash, but then at the end of it you go downwards. Oh, I messed it up. Yeah, usually when you have dashes, it's a little harder to do the downwards thing. But basically, you dash, go downwards at the end of it near the target, and then you can stun them on the ground because they're basically being knocked back into the ground, which can be really nice. So I'll try doing it right here. Did not do it right, but if you do it right, then they'll all be stunned right here. Okay. Level 3.
Man Meteor.
I'll go into Helix minion. He's the character. Alright. Alright. So, what was I gonna say? I didn't finish level 2, so I went over knock up the blast. So on the right. So I mean, if you're on a map where you can knock people off of the map, you can knock people off really easily. Then you take right, push it. Really, really great for the laughs. So much value. Because that's what it's all about. So level 3. If in most games you want to take the extra health because Montana's the tank or like one of the main tanks, and he's gonna be taking a lot of damage. You want the extra health. But if it's a really, really fast-paced game and you need more stuns, then Gatling Grease is a pretty valuable option. Gives you like a 50% cooldown over 3 seconds, which is really fast. Like it's deceptively good. Give you the extra cooldown Lumberjack Blast, which is probably better in his kit than his ult is actually, in terms of utility. Level 4. Usually one go Icy Resolve gives him more DR. Hailstorm is really important on Montana. I mean, a lot of the reason you take Icy Resolve, or part of it, is that so you don't take Firestorm, because Firestorm is mostly a meme pick. It is good for taking down shields. Obviously, it gives you extra damage, but it removes the slow. And you do still get the DR, I believe. I'm pretty sure. But usually you want to take Icy Resolve because the slow is so good. And his Hailstorm is probably the very best for killing thralls because it flinches them immediately, almost all the time. Which honestly, I feel like in some games you don't even need to get thrall because a lot of the times people just shred them and they just die. You kind of just waste it. Or I mean, you can get XP, I guess. But right here, level 5. When I first started playing the game, I used to just like flip between getting cold-blooded or hot-blooded. Usually, you'd want to go hot-blooded because you're gonna be at higher heat most of the time with Monty. So that'd be the most value. And then Focus Fire is usually the best pick because it gives him, like, he's literally like the all-around character in the game. He can do, like I was saying, he can do damage, CC, all that stuff. Hot-blooded, Focus Fire lets him do way more damage, or like gives you way more precision for getting crits. Because when you get a crit spot open on like anything, Montana can do so much work. He's way, way better at single target damage. Like, that's why Montana's so good against Kelvin, because like Kelvin he's a character that we always be on his feet, moving around, making sure that no one's just destroying him. But Monty is a character that can just sit back and shoot whatever is in front of him. And if Kelvin's in lane, Montana can just literally be shooting him the whole time, slowing him, doing all that stuff. And that's why Montana's one of the best counters to Kelvin, but obviously we all know Kelvin has so much potential to make plays. 6. I've pretty much never taken Swole Shield. Honestly, if I'm like in pubs doing like on tempos knocking people off, I'll probably take Swole Shield because it gives me more health. More health means more time to be getting cooldowns for more knockoffs for more knockoffs the map. Does that sound right? Yeah. Yep. So icicles. I feel like icicles would be good with Firestorm, but I don't know. I feel like it would be, but it's like feeling the burn is easily his best Helix choice in the game, because like you pair that with Miko. Everybody knows about the Miko Montana combo. That's why Miko and Monty are right next to each other. I mean, it's alphabetical order, but that's why they're right next to each other. Miko and Montana, they're the combo in the game that can do the most easily. They have CC, probably easily the best sustain in the game. Damage, all that stuff. They can do so much on their own. Miko and Montana. Feeling the burn just lets him continuously pump out damage. And if you have like Khalees, like it doesn't even have to be. I mean, it could be Umbra, but I don't really like Umbra. She sucks as a support. She's a good healer, but she sucks as a support. But if you have like a Khalees, because Khalees can work too in Monty, because you can just be giving him the shield, and you can just continuously feed out damage with Feel the Burn, which is a really good combo. Level 7. I mean, 25% extra damage, that's a lot. Because Lumberjack Dash does 200, which is deceptively high, honestly. When you consider that people use his dash for the CC, not really the damage. But 25%, that's pretty good. Heat, the barrel cooling in the middle. I believe... Forget what it is. There was a reason that you would take it. If you are going for like a heat build, I think barrel cooling is good. If you want to like stay at a high heat, then you can go for it. But the thing is, you'd want to have as much heat built as fast as possible, because that's how he gets his extra damage, especially with Feel the Burn, which is why barrel cooling is kind of it's not as value as going Ice Age, because it just gives him more tankiness, more slows, more cooldown for his gun. That's what most people take. Level 8. I really wonder what the damage numbers would be if you took Icebreaker and then Crocodile, yeah, for the extra damage. But I believe most people take the cooldown. 25%. That's pretty good. For obviously that's one of his main tools is the Lumberjack Blast or Lumberjack Dash. Same thing, really. Level 9 is really interesting, because I'm pretty sure level 9, that's the only Helix in the game that gives like a non-healer character more healing received. I'm pretty sure she's the only one who gets more healing received in this kit. If I'm doing like a damage build, like if you have Firestorm, then if you're doing a damage build, you definitely want to take the Perfect Storm. Gives you 40% extra damage right off the bat. Can't really go wrong with that. I kind of hesitated there because you take Bullet buff, you do get extra 2 seconds for the burn damage on Firestorm, but 14% extra damage is definitely going to be more value in the long run than the 2% extra than 2 extra seconds. So then right here, I used to be confused, but it really depends on what comp they have. Like, if they have a lot of... They don't really have that much range, then you can go instant payback. Wait. No, you can go big payback, and then... I'll show a clip. It was on your stream, Traveler. I'm going to show the clip. You can just take a bunch... I probably made it work like twice ever in my career, but I don't really get to level 9 or 10 on Montana that much. But it really depends on the comp, because you can unleash a nuke to everyone around you with big payback, well, instant payback. If they have a lot of range, you can just pop that and reflect right back at them. I've heard one time that one of my friends, I believe he was a Montana. He popped his ult instant payback, and a whiskey was ulted him, and the whiskey died because he got all the bullets reflected at him. Which, in theory, you wonder. I don't know. You'd think that wouldn't work if he's taking damage, but I mean, I don't know. Level 10. Yeah, I'm gonna show the clip. Let me grab it. It's a recent clip, so I'll be able to find it. Okay. Here it is. Okay. Ooh, that looks really weird. Gonna I don't know if I'm doing this right. Is this showing on the stream? Oh, here we go. Alright. So right here, this is from Traveler's stream. This is big payback. It was one of the funniest clips I've ever seen. I will play the audio.
Not gonna leave me alone, are you? Follow me. I knew it.
Yeah, that's good stuff. 750. That's not a whole lot of damage, but it's pretty funny.
I was like, why is my...
All right. That showed. Yeah, I definitely played. Okay. All right. Good clip. Shows what it can do. Montana's level 10. It's kind of just. It's kind of like Galilea's ult. They don't want to give too much to him because Galilea and Montana are the characters that can already do so much. You don't want to give them too much. Okay, so then Montana, his gear choices. I mean, if you have Montana on your team, you'd want to have like Miko if possible. Otherwise, Alani's still great. You'd want to have heal and receive. The one I usually use for pubs at least is this one. I've been experimenting with a lot of loadouts, but you could run damage resistance, health regen. Health regen is like probably the most important. I don't know. Oh, it's capped at 750. Okay. Health, attack speed, or attack damage. Because Montana can still do a lot of damage. If you want to go for a damage build, you can run attack speed or attack damage. Attack speed will let you hit maximum heat faster. These two pieces right here, the chest plate and the regen, are some of the best gear pieces in the whole game. Can't really go wrong with them. I like running that one on Montana. He's not gonna have his shield up that much, and 21 regen. That's really, really useful. Ye old heal and received. I used to have this regen piece right here, or which one is it? This one. I used to have this one on that loadout, but I took it out because the regen one is so good. But yeah, if I have a good healer, then I'll take the heal receive piece. Heal receive is overall really, really reliable, or really useful on Montana or Galley, Kelvin too. Honestly, I'd recommend it more for Galley or Montana though, because a good Kelvin will give his healer the right amount of time to get him heals. You know, like a good Kelvin will be able to. If he gets stunned, if he's low, he'll get his sub off and get around a corner for his healer to heal to top him off. You know. So I mean, if you feel like you really need the regen, the healers even go for it on Kelvin, but Monty's way more valuable. Way more value. Went over the stun. A lot of tankiness. Use Hailstorm for DR2. Like, if you're in a bind, you can pop the Hailstorm. Give you some damage resistance. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm pretty sure that's the longest episode I've done. That is Montana. Should I end it with the song again? No, I could do it. Nah, I won't do it. But I could. Just let me know I could. Okay. Yep, so that's this week. I'm probably not going to do one next week because I need to figure out what I'm going to do. Want to move it to talking about the game. Talking about the game, balance changes, all that stuff. I will be back on Friday for a pub stream. Because I didn't do one last week on Friday, but yeah. Had fun last time I streamed pubs. Yeah. If anyone has any suggestions for stuff to talk about, let me know. Alright, well, I will be back on Friday for Battleborn. Thanks for watching. Definitely gonna upload all this, as I usually do, to YouTube. Check that out. Y'all have a good night. And peace out. Stay dandy. I'm gonna start saying that. Stay dandy, baby. Alright. Peace out, y'all.